Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan YouTube station, and we're going to give our update on the start for our League of Subs, which is coming up. We have an 8-team league with subscribers from the channel, and I will be going through each team quickly, showing their pitchers and batters. That way the people who are in the League of Subs, the subscribers, the good friends of mine who are in the chat, will be able to set their lineups for the upcoming league. Each team will play each other twice, one game home, one game away. So it will be a total of 16 games. 14 games, excuse me. Obviously, you're not playing each other. Alright, so what we have here, this is a league for subscribers. And we have Mr. Miller is participating. And he will be the 1976 Cincinnati Reds. And then we have Eric and Brody from Higher Ground Gaming. They're going to be the 1996 Atlanta Braves. Hello, Tribes fan. How are you? And then we have Andre Ford. He is participating. He is the Montreal team down at the bottom. That's the 1980 Montreal Expos. Ken Castro's the 1912 Red Sox. I Ride Since 93, the 94 Expos. Beatles Eternally, the 1909 Pirates. Elin, the 2001 Arizona Diamondbacks. And the Cubs, the Bears, the 1930 Philadelphia A's. We have Tribes fan in the chat. And Tribes fan, what's going on with you? How goes your retro replays? How go your projects? Feel free to put that in the chat, and I will read it out. Thank you for joining me. Right now, we're just going to be going through League of Subs. And what it's going to be, Tribes fan, subscribers are going to play against each other in this league. So, right now, we're going to introduce the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates, and that will be managed by Beatles Eternally. So we'll have the Tribes fan says, I think I told you about Fergie Jenkins. Yes, you did. How's that going? That's pretty cool that you're doing the Ferguson Jenkins starts. That sounds like a lot of fun. Are you using Strat for that or Pine Tar? So, alright, so this is the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates, and what we're going to do is we're going to first look at, I want to make sure it switches over. Tribes fan says, Game 4 was completed. Strat also doing something with Friend where we picked 4 20-player Tribes fan teams. played 6 games last week. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, I just want to make sure that the screens are switching over. So, Tribes fan, I'm going to switch to pictures now and see if it switches. It's tough to see on my little screen, if you don't mind helping me a bit. So right now it says batters and Alan Stork. So let's go. It should switch over to Howie Kamnitz. Oh, it does. Excellent. Excellent. I just noticed. Beautiful. Alright, so let's do pitchers first. And we're going to line them up. And what I'm doing here, this is for Beatles Eternally, the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates. And as you can see, Beatles, he knows this team already, but I have set up so you can see the pitcher with the most wins is Howie Kamnitz. He has 25 wins, 6 losses, 3 saves. Saves weren't kept in 1909. They went back and checked the records, and this is what they would consider a save. He had 3 of them. His earned run average, 1.62. So Beatles, and you can see, I will leave this up for a moment. Then with all the pitchers, these are the pitchers you can use. And then you have Vic Willis, 22-11. Lefty, Leafield, 19-8. Nick Maddox, 13-8. Babe Adams, 12-3 with 2 saves, and so on and so forth. Those are your top 5 pitchers. So once again, I'll hold this up for a moment. Hello, Beatles Eternally and the Cubs, the Bears. This is our summary and setup of the League of Subs. And Beatles, we're going through your team right now. These are all the pitchers. As you probably already know, the next thing I will do, I hope everyone's doing well. And the next thing I'll do after a moment or so, I will go to the lefty-righty matchups for batters against pitchers. And what we want to do here, Beatles, when you get a chance, that's right, that's your team. That is your team. You are the manager of the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates. So what we're going to do is, once I set the schedule, you guys can message me on YouTube with your lineup, and I will put it in. And if you're in the chat when we play, hopefully, you can make some decisions. If not, I will do the best of my ability. You can tell me who you want as your closer, so on and so forth. But if you're in the chat, I will ask you. So, Beatles Eternally says, my team will get medieval on all of you. Yeah, your team's pretty good. I mean, your leading pitcher, Howie Kamnitz, 25 wins, 6 losses, earned run average 1.62, whip below 1. So, alright, so I think we put the pitchers up long enough. This is going to be a long stream, people. I'm going to go through because everyone needs who's in this league to be able to see who they have. Alright, so now we're going to go batters, lefty-righty. So the Pittsburgh Pirates, let's first do against left-handers. So I'm going to click on average. And hopefully this... Oh, Beatles says, how do I message you? I think, well, there's a couple of ways of doing this. You can just, on this YouTube... Why am I talking so loud? I don't know. You can... And I'm pointing with my hands like you can see me, like you guys can see me. So, what you can do on this YouTube video is, on the first game, or on all the games, afterwards, you can just, in the message, you know, in the comments, you can set your lineup and your strategy. Because you can type as much as you want, and I read all my comments. And I know this is going to be for the sub-league, so... The Cubs of Bears says, looks fine, Al. Thank you. So I apologize. It's not going to be a really exciting stream, but this is the only way I could figure to do it. And I'm going to show you a couple other things after. So Beatles, I've clicked on the batter. The best batter against left-handed pitching is Patty O'Connor. He batted 400. Then Honus Wagner, 317. Then Fred Clark, so on and so forth, as you can see. These are in order of the highest batting average against left-handed pitching. And in a moment, I shall switch to right-handed pitching, average against right-handed pitching. So right now, the top 4 batters that Beatles and the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates have, which he knows because he plays this team, you know, Patty O'Connor, 400 batting average against left-handed pitching. Honus Wagner, 317. Fred Clark, 302. And Dots Miller, 291. And those are the top 4. And as you can see, they're all lined up this way. So, with their positions. So, their positions are right here. Next to the right of their name, obviously. Patty O'Connor's a catcher. And now we're going to switch to average against right-handed pitching. And I shall be right back in a moment. And I am back. Thank you very much. Had to help my mom with something. All right, so now we have the right-handed batters, and you can see it changes. Honus Wagner, 345. Then you have Ham Hyatt, 315. Fred Clark, 281. Chief Wilson, 276. I'll keep that up for a moment. Eric's in the chat. Hello, Eric. The Cubs, the Bears says 1909 Pittsburgh has a player named Chef and a player named Jap. Those were the days. Yeah, they're not too politically correct. Or cheap. I'm sorry, I said Chef. Jesus. Alrighty. So I'll hold this up. So again, right now what we're looking at, batting average against right-handed pitching. I've listed the players with the highest batting orders in a row. So, Beatles, I think you're pretty good with this team, as you have the knowledge of this team. I think that's. I don't think I need to do pitchers lefty righty. I mean, your pitchers, all these pitchers on these teams are great. So, all right. So I think Beatles again. Beatles eternally will be managing the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates. And we'll just go through. These are the righties. Average against right-handed pitching. So we're good there. And we will now move over. Since Eric's in the chat, and the Cubs, the Bears, will now move to the Cubs, the Bears. And the Cubs, the Bears has the 1930 Philadelphia Athletics. So we'll do him next. Okay, so let me hit OK. And Pittsburgh in 1909 won 110 games, 42 losses. So now we're going to do the 1930 Philadelphia Athletics. Hopefully I've done this correctly and this should pop up. Eric from Higher Ground Gaming says, I had a guy in my 1905 Giants named Dummy Taylor. I love these names. They're hilarious. Alright, so hopefully the Cubs and the Athletics. It did pop up. Oh, I'm getting better with this. So now we're going to look at the pitchers. And again, they're listed in the highest win total. And so the Cubs, the Bears, his #1 pitcher, very excellent pitcher, Lefty Grove. 28 wins, 5 losses, 9 saves. Earned run average of 2.54. His next pitcher, 22-game winner, George Earnshaw. 22-13, 2 saves, 444. Wow, that's a high ERA. That's surprising. And then you have Rube Wahlberg. I don't think he's a relation to Mark Wahlberg. 13-12, 4.69 earned run average. And Bill Shores, 12-4, 4.19. Wow, these ERAs are pretty high. They must have scored a lot of runs. That's all I can say. So those are your top 4 pitchers. Then you have Roy Mahaffey, 9-5. You earned run average of 5.01. Woo! Those are some high earned run average. Beatles attorney says Grove had a hell of a temper. Oh, Beatles attorney says Dummy Taylor was deaf. Interesting. Maybe that's why they thought he was not intelligent, because he was deaf, which is not correct. That's the ignorant people there. Beatles attorney, 1930 was the year of offense. Hack Wilson, 190 RBIs. I mean, these ERAs are just, besides Lefty Groves, they're really high. All right, so that's that. Now we're going to go batting average against left-handed and right-handed pitching for the Cubs, the Bears. And again, you can always go back to this video, and you can pause it, look at it, set your lineup. We're going to have fun. Again, if you're not in... Hello, Ken Castro. How you doing, buddy? The Cubs, the Bears says the batting stats were inflated for most of the 30s. That's right. Ken Castro won the Derby today on Tabletop Baseball with Earl with an E. Check out Tabletop Baseball. Great channel. All right, so let's go to the batters, and we'll do average against left-handed pitching. And Al Simmons, 394. Then Jimmy Moore, 375. Jimmy Fox, 350. Mickey Corcoran, 339. Jimmy Dykes, 317. Holy cow. Bing Miller, I like that name, 316. And finally, someone below 300, Joe Beloy. I don't know how to, Joe Key. So, Belee, I guess, Joe Belee, 289. So I'll hold that up for a moment. These are in the order of the best batters against left-handed pitching. We'll keep that up for a moment. I'll go to the chat. And Ken Castro's joined us. All right, Eric. Yeah, you have it on your PC action, so I will speed through your team. But it's also for the benefit of the other people. I know this is not the most exciting thing to go through, but this is the only way I know how to do it. All right, so that's against left-handed pitchers. Once again, I'll hold it up for another moment, and then I'll click to show against righties. And now we shall move against right-handed pitching. And again, Eddie Collins, but he was a pinch hitter, 500, so it does not look like he had a ton of at-bats here. 500, no home runs, no RBIs. Okay. So then, let's click over here. Oh, God. Let's click out of it. No, click out of it. There we go. Oh, God. All right. Anyway. So then you have Jimmy Moore, 382, Al Simmons, 374, Mickey Corcoran, 363, Jimmy Fox, 327, Mule Haas, 305, and Bing Miller at 296. I will keep this up for a moment. These are batting averages against right-handed pitching, so you're going to be able to set your lineup. Let me again go to the chat. Beatles says, contrast 1930 with 1968, and it's astounding. Because 68 was the year of the pitcher, I believe. So, all right, so that is the Cubs, the Bears team, the 1930 Philadelphia Athletics. So, you'll be able to set your lineup that way. We'll now move to Ken Castro's team, which are the 1912 Red Sox, and they won 105 games, lost 47. The 1930 Philadelphia Athletics won 102 games and lost 52. And again, this is going to be each team I'm hoping to play each other twice. That's what I'd like. A home and away for our first sub-league, League of Subscribers. So that's what we'll do. Hopefully we'll get through it all. I think we will. Alright, so we're done with them. And we're going to move to the 1912 Boston Red Sox, who will be managed by Ken Castro. Go to pitchers. Okay, the Cubs and Bears. So now the 1912, Ken Castro is probably very familiar with this team, but for anyone else who is not, we'll quickly go through this. Joe Wood, 34-5, ERA 1.91. Then you have Buck O'Brien, 20-13, 258 earned run average, and Hugh Bendant, I believe that's the way you pronounce it, 20-9, 2.92, and then Charlie Hall, 15-8, 3.02. So those are the top 4 pitchers. And now we will go to Ken Castro's righty-lefty matchups against pitching. Tris Speaker, 355 against left-handed pitching. Then you have Marty Krug, 333. Jake Stahl, 313. And Larry Gardner at 296. And you can go down the line here. And you see, against left-handed pitching, their batting averages. And again, you can use Baseball Reference also. Same thing. So now quickly to the righties. Tris Speaker, 390 against right-handed pitching. Olaf Henriksen, 333. Larry Gardner, 320. Marty Krug, 296. We'll hold that up for 1 second, and then we will quickly move on to Eric in the 1996 Atlanta Braves. Once again, the Boston Red Sox, 1912, 105 wins, 47 losses. Alright, so now on to the 1996 Atlanta Braves. Eric has this game, so he knows his team. But we'll quickly go through. John Smoltz, 24-8, 2.94 ERA. Greg Maddux, 15-11, 2.72. Tom Glavine, 15-10, 2.98. Steve Avery, losing record, 7-10. 4.47. Walk-off home run for the Boston Red Sox. Moreland, extra innings. Red Sox win. Yankees have lost. Tampa Bay's lost. We're on a roll, baby. Okay. Alright, so now let's quickly go to the batting averages against lefties. Louis Polonia, 667. Again, probably limited playing time. So Jerome Walton, 440. Andrew Jones, 379. Joe Eirault, 333. Fred McGriff, 325. So on and so forth. Again, Eric from Higher Ground Gaming and Brody, very familiar with the 1996 Atlanta Braves. So we'll quickly go to against right-handed pitching. And you can see it again. The inflated averages, probably limited playing. David Justice, 322. Louis Polonia, 393. Pablo Martinez, 1,000. Chipper Jones, 315. Marquise Grissom, 308. Ryan Klesko, 301. So quickly went through that one because Eric knows. Yeah, I think it's a 3-game lead now for the Red Sox, Eric. Alright, so that's the 1996 Braves, which will be managed by Eric and Brody from Higher Ground Gaming. Check out their channel, Higher Ground Gaming. Absolutely wonderful channel. Lots of retro gameplay. And become one of Brody's birdies as he plays golf on the tour. Or the Brody Bunch. Alrighty. So now we're going to move to... We'll now move to the 1994 Montreal Expos, which is I Ride Since 93. I believe that's how he... And this was the strike year, so there was no World Series or playoffs. They were 74 and 40 when the baseball year came to an end. Let's go to the pitchers quickly. Ken Hill, 16 and 5, 3.32 ERA. Pedro Martinez, 11 and 5 with a save, 3.42. Jeff Pissarro, who also would go on to pitch for the Red Sox, 8 and 6. Butch Henry, I think Butch Henry also pitched for the Red Sox, 8, 3 and 1. So those are the top 4 pitchers there. And then you have Kirk Reuter, 7 and 3, but his ERA is 5.71. So I'm going to hold that up for a moment because I Ride Since 93 does not have Action PC baseball. So I'm going to hold that up for a little longer than the other fine gentleman I did. And again, you can use Baseball Reference to set up your lineups. They have all this information, Baseball Reference. Now, probably put that in the comments below. And you got John Wetland with 25 saves and Mel Rojas with 16. So those are the big closers out of the bullpen. Let's go righty lefty for batting average. Jeff Gardner 500, Moses Alou 365, Will Cordero 356, Juan Bell 353, Larry Walker 330, Cliff Floyd 319, Sean Berry 316, Mike Lansing 308, so on and so forth. I will hold that up for a moment. And again, you can always pause the video when you're looking over if you're using this as your reference. But again, baseballreference.com is excellent. Now we're going to go against right-handed pitching. Moses Alou, 330. Larry Walker, 318. Tim Sphere, 318. Marquise Grissom, 300. And Lou Frazier, 294. Once again, the Montreal Expos of 1994, 74 wins and 40 losses. This is the year that there was no playoffs, no World Series. The 2 best teams during that year, record-wise, were the Montreal Expos and the New York Yankees. So let me quickly go to the chat. The Cubs of Bears says, just like the 1930 teams, I have inflated batting and relatively poor pitching. The early teams will have very poor fielding. Don't know if this game normalizes stats across the eras. I don't think it does, to my knowledge. Brody just snorted at you, Al, when you mentioned his name. Awesome. I love Mr. Brody. How many, Beatles Eternally says, how many great players came through? A ton. All right, so that is the team managed by I Ride Since 93, the 94 Montreal Expos. We will now move on to Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller has the 1976 Cincinnati Reds. Hello, Stratomatic Delaware. How are you, my friend? Hope all is well. Remember to check out Stratomatic Delaware. He's playing the I said by accident the 1978 yesterday. The 1979, his little playoff tournament, which is excellent. He had an outstanding game there between Houston and Pittsburgh. I'm not going to give it away, so check it out. It's a 2-parter. It's well worth the watch. Watched it yesterday. So the 1976 Cincinnati Reds, Gary Nolan, 15 wins, 9 losses, 3.46. Pat Zachary, 14 and 7, 2.74. Fred Norman, 12 and 7, 3.09. Jack Billingham, 12 and 10, 4.32. And Raleigh Eastwick was the man out of the bullpen, 26 saves. So Mr. Miller will hold that up there for you a moment. Eric from Higher Ground Gaming. He says, I'll help him. He's not that computer savvy. Yeah, just help him. I mean, again, if Mr. Miller's watching or he tells you how he wants it, I'll play it out. I mean, obviously, I'm going to go buy the book. You know, so if someone's in the chat when we're doing the games, more power to them. I'll stop and ask, say if it's you, Eric, and it's your 96 Braves, I will ask you, what do you want to do? And you can tell me. So, If not, I'll play it to the best of my ability. It'll be pretty much played straight up. Who's the best option? I won't go on any hunches or feelings like I do when I'm managing a team myself. Now we're going to go to righty-lefty matchups for batters. So again, some of these stats are, I mean, like Don Werner, 500 off left-handed pitching, probably could be a good pinch hitter. I don't think he played too much. So then you have Ken Griffey Sr. off lefties, 393. Dave Concepcion, 352. Doug Flynn, 347. Bill Plummer, 333. Ed Arbrister, the man of the interference, 304. I have to be honest with you, though. 1975 World Series. Did Armbrister interfere? Yeah, maybe. But Fisk should have made a better throw. He had plenty of time. I've watched that over and over. So, I know he bumped into him, but he still had plenty of time to throw to second. Oh my God, then Bob Bailey, 297. George Foster, 281. Pete Rose, 278. Now we're going to go Tony Perez, 266. Now we're going to go average against right-handed pitching. Joe Morgan, 349. Pete Rose, 343. Cesar Geronimo, 327. George Foster, 319. Ken Griffey Sr., 316. Bob Bailey, 304. This isn't the Bob Bailey for the Boston Red Sox. Eric from Higher Ground Gaming says, Bob Bailey, his team is cursed, LOL. Stratomatic Delaware, I saw him and went and laughed out loud. Alright, so Eric will help Mr. Miller. So we're not worried about Mr. Miller. Again, the 1976 Cincinnati Reds went 102 wins, 60 losses. So now we'll move on to Andre Ford's team. He has the Montreal team. It just says Montreal. That's the 1980 Montreal Expos. And there's a ton of players on this team. So Steve Rogers, 16 wins, 11 losses, ERA 2.93. Then Scott Sanderson, 16 wins, 11 losses, 3.11 earned run average. Bill Gullickson, 10-5, earned run average of 3. And then Elias Sosa, 9-6. He had 9 saves, 307 earned run average. And then Woody Fryman looks like he must have been the closer. He had 17 saves, and he was 7-4, 2.25. So we will hold that up for a moment for Andre Ford. Hopefully he'll see this video. And again, you can use baseballreference.com. I will put that later on in the comments. And Andre Ford picked the team, so he's very familiar with the team. We will now move to batters, lefty-righty. Against left-handed pitching, Bobby Ramos, again, probably a backup catcher, 429. Andre Dawson, 339. Brad Mills, bench coach for the Indians now, and Tito Francona's friend, 333. Gary Carter, 311. Ellis Valentine, 303. Rodney Scott, 289. Rodney Scott, who played for everyone, right? Was that the guy who was on all the teams? Oh, no, that was Dave Cash when we did the first one-and-done tournament. Tony Bernazar, 275. Billy Allman, 267. So we'll hold that up for a moment. These are batting averages against left-handed pitching. And now we will do batting averages against right-handed pitching. Again, the first one, Bob Pate, most likely didn't get a lot of playing time. Right fielder, batted 600. Ellis Valentine, 318. John Tamargo, 314. Ken Maka, 308. Willie Martinez, 308. Warren Cromartie, 303. Andre Dawson, 301. Brad Mills, 292. We'll hold that up for a moment. The 1980 Montreal Expos, 90 wins and 72 losses. And I believe what's left is Elin and the 2001 Arizona Diamondbacks, and we shall be done with this. All right. Well, we're all very familiar probably with this team. the team that beat the Yankees in the World Series. For some reason, their logo, I tried 5 different logos, would not load. And they were all JPG files. Or they wouldn't load. I don't know why. So Curt Schilling, 22 wins, 6 losses, 2.98 earned run average. Randy Johnson, 21 and 6, 2.49, and then Miguel Batista, 11 and 8, 3.36. Robert Ellis, 6 and 5, 5.77, and Bung Young Kim, 19 saves, 5 and 6, 2.94. He sucked when he played for the Red Sox. So that's your big save guy there. I'm sure Elon's familiar with the Arizona Diamondbacks because I believe he lives out in Arizona. Ken Castro asks, Midre Cummings, is he on the... I think he is. Let's check that out. We're going to go to batters now. And let's just do the names first. So we can find Midre Cummings. I do think... Yes, he is. Midre Cummings is on that team. All right, now let's put it in. This is against left-handed pitching. Ryan Christensen, 1,000 again, most likely a pinch hitter. Utility outfielder. Craig Counsell, 337. Junior Spivey, 323. Matt Williams, 313. Luis Gonzalez, the hero of the World Series, 312. Damian Miller, 301. Then Mark Grace, 295. So on and so forth. We'll hold that for a second. I'll go to the chat for a moment. And Ken Castro had asked Midre Cummings. Yes, he is on the team. And they're talking about in the chat if they can call Stratomatic Delaware or shorter SOMD. All right, now batting average against right-handed pitching for the 2001 Arizona Diamondbacks. Jack Cust, 667, excuse me. He went on to play for Oakland, I'm pretty sure. Then you have Lyle Overbay, 500. Again, most likely just pinch hitters or came up late in the year. And everyone's eligible. You can use any player that's on your team. We're not going to have roster limits. Everyone's eligible. So, you want to pinch hit a guy who had 5 at-bats because he hit 667? God bless you. Go ahead. Alex Cintron, 333. Luis Gonzalez, 331. Greg Colbrun, 317. Mark Grace, 300. Midre Cummings, 300. Rubio Durazo, 287. Tony Womack, 286. Steve Finley, 285. Dave DeLucci, 283. And so on and so forth. There's more as I can scroll down. There's a ton of players. He's going to have a lot of choices here. So the 2001 Arizona Diamondbacks, 92 wins, 70 losses. They defeated the Yankees in the World Series. Okay, let me go here now. And now, as you can see, we're going to show you another thing. The standings will not be... Will you see all the wins here and losses? That's not where you're going to see your standings. It might update, but the standings are going to be here. You'll see a nice clean slate. I don't know if this will pop up, so I'm going to have to add another screen. Let me add another window here. And that should come up in a moment. So this is where you're going to see your standings. Oh, the Cubs the Bears asks, Al, if you were going to pick a team from all-time collection, who would it be? Oh, boy. I think I would go with... I probably would go with I think I go with the 40. I think the 46 Red Sox or the 75 Red Sox. So. No DH. The Cubs, the Bears says. I don't think. I can set it up so there's no DH. I don't think there's. I think it goes off of most of these teams are National League teams. They're not going to have a DH in the time period. I don't think there's one team that's going to have a DH. Cincinnati, National League, Atlanta, Montreal, Boston, the time period, no DH. Arizona, I don't think there's a DH anyway. So, I'm going to be honest with you. But I'll set the rule for no DH. And if by accident it has a DH, I'll go back, we'll restart the game. I don't think there's a DH because the way this game is played, if the 76 Reds play the 96 Braves, unless the person playing the game wants a DH, there's not going to be a DH because it goes with those rules. And it will play the rules, the home team rules of, it's going to play the home team rules. And the only American League, well, there's two American League teams. The 1912 Boston Red Sox and the 1930 Philadelphia Athletics. And there's no DH in that time period. Hello, Greg Gorecki. How are you, my friend? Hope all is well. As Eric says, Bob Bailey DHs for all teams. Well, that's an automatic out. But he's got to be from 1978. So this is where we're going to look at the standings here, and we're going to play. Everyone's going to play everyone once, home and away. So you're talking 14 games. Unless you guys just want to do one game. Unless you want to just do one game. So you guys tell me in the chat who are here. If you just want to do one game, 7 games, or would you like to do home and away? $14 says Ken Castro. Eric says 2 is good. 2 games each. Yeah, because we can if it goes, this should go well. And then we can do it again with different teams if you want. Or we can continue. It doesn't matter. It might go, oh, let's play another game. But I think 2 games each is fun. And then we can do a playoff. Or we'll do it soccer style. We'll have relegation. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so this is the standings. All right, close that now. Let's go back to OBS. And while we have everyone in the chat, since we're all here, hail the gang's all here. Greg Gorecki says Tucson. Greg, would you like to put a team in, my friend? If you want. Ken Castro, auto schedule maker and action. I will schedule. I will schedule the games. I'm probably going to do the first game between I'd like probably Beatles and Ken. But I'll schedule the games, and we can it's easy to schedule them. Yes, they are, Greg. These are the teams so far. Would you like to know what teams? Hold on, Greg. Let me see if I can do this properly. Bring up the greatest team league. Let's go to rosters. Bear with me. This is not going to pop up at first. I just want to get I'm going to do import team. And we have great teams from the American League and the National League. So I'll bring up the American. What league do you think you want to play, Greg? If you want. The Cubs and Bears says, Al, I have a different memory of Bob Bailey than you. Lousy fielder, but certainly a good hitter, especially for his time frame. I remember him primarily with Pittsburgh and Montreal. Yeah, I mean, he was at the end of his career at the Red Sox. He stunk. So, I mean, he was awful. He's horrible. That's why, again, I'm playing with the as-played lineups using Digital Diamond Baseball. It's just reliving my nightmare all over again. But it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Greg says it doesn't matter. All right, Greg, let's look at the... All right, I got to bring up another screen here. Bear with me. Greg went to a Canadian Football League game yesterday. He can fill you in on that in the chat while I bring up. Why is that not showing? How can that not show? That should show. Oh, I have to hit OK. It's still not showing. All right, well, that didn't work. I'll just read them off to you then, because it wants to be difficult. So for American League teams, do you want an old school team, a new school team? You got the 03 Red Sox, 08 Detroit, 1910 Philadelphia. Greg, what? Oh, Greg likes Montreal. Greg likes Toronto. Let's see what we have for Toronto. 1992 Blue Jays, Greg. We got 92 and 93 Toronto Blue Jays. Or would you like... And then... Alright, we'll wait for Greg to reply back. I think he also likes the San Francisco Giants. Juan Marichal. So I think I have the 62 Giants. Cancel that. Let's go import team. $1962. Yep, I have the 1962 San Francisco Giants. So you want a Toronto Braves team, Greg? Because you said that works for me. 92 Toronto. Okay. I shall add them right now through the magic of television. Let me cancel that. Go back again. Back to the American League great teams. 1992 Toronto Blue Jays for Greg Gurecki, our good friend from the north. And you'll see them in a second. Watch this. They should pop up momentarily. Oh, the Giants! You want the Giants? Okay, I can change that. 62 Giants. All right, let me remove. Delete team. Yes. All right, import the 1962 Giants, San Francisco Giants. Back to the National League great teams, 1962 San Francisco Giants. And through, once again, the magic of television. All right, and there they are. You'll see them shortly, the San Francisco Giants. Should pop up in a moment. And then I'm going to have to load the player pictures, though, which won't take long. I'll do that later after we stop the stream in a minute or so, a couple of minutes. So the San Francisco Giants will pop up. Again, Greg Gurecki knows all this stuff, but just quickly. Jack Sanford, 24 wins, 7 losses, 3.43 earned run average. Billy Odell, 19 and 14, 3.53. Juan Marichal, 18 and 11, 3.36. Billy Price, 16 and 6. Stu Miller was the guy who came out of the pen. It looks like 19 saves. Batters against left-handed pitching. Carl Bowles, 438, probably pinch hitter or platoon player. Felipe Alou, 348. Willie Mays, 343. Harvey Keene, 323. Bob, I think that's Neiman, 308. Jim Davenport, 306. Willie McCovey, 300. Average against right-handed pitching, Orlando Cepeda, 325. Matty Alou, 306. Felipe Alou, 300. Harvey Keene, 294. Davenport, 293. McCovey, 292. Chuck Hiller, 290. Willie Mays, 289. So I will add, so now it's going to be 16 games, because we're going to play a home and away with each. The Cubs, the Bears, 62 Giants, good choice, fun team. Yeah, I think that's going to be fun to see Marichal against and Cepeda and all those other guys. So that should be fun. And again, I'm just going to, I'll load the pictures and the logo afterwards. So we'll just quickly the way we're going to do this is everyone knows their teams. We've added, now Greg Gurecki has the 62 San Francisco Giants who won 103 games, lost 62. So the way we're going to do this is you'll set your lineup, take a moment of your time. Yeah, as Greg Gurecki says, the Baby Bull was my guy in 67. Set your lineup for lefties and righties, if you don't mind. And then when we set the schedule, I'm going to put the schedule out there, and we'll play it out. If you don't mind, again, take a little bit of time. You guys will do it quickly. Put in the comment section on this video. Oh no, Strat-O-Matic. No, absolutely not. The more the merrier. What team do you want, Strat-O-Matic, Delaware? Do you want me to go through the teams again? 79 Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay, let me load them up for you. I definitely know we have those guys. That is his favorite team, Strat-O-Matic, Delaware. All right, I think we can only add one more team. Oops, wrong. For this division. Okay, I have to go rosters. Yep, that's it. He gets the last spot. Click import the 1979. I wonder if they're either if they're not in the great teams, which there should be. I have the 79 season. I have all the 70s. And remember to check out Strat-O-Matic Delaware, and he's doing a lot of Strat-O-Matic tabletop board game. He's playing the 1979 playoffs. Just had a wonderful game between Houston and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Two-part, but absolutely marvelous, and that's all I'll say about that. Tremendous, tremendous game. Alrighty, 79 Pittsburgh Pirates. We are family for Strat-O-Matic Delaware. And through the magic of YouTube, And there they are. 98 wins, 64 losses. They won the World Series in 1979. Yep, Beatles, they are. But even if they weren't, I have 79, so. Oh, so Stratmac Delaware says, I think he said I got to meet Willie Stargell. That's awesome. Greg Gurecki, loved Willie Stargell, the finest athlete I ever met in over 33 years working in TV and radio. That's cool. Okay, so let's quickly look at the Pirates. They'll be up in a moment. Top pitcher, Stratmac Delaware can tell you this. John Candelario, 14-9. Though Bruce Kison, Stratmac Delaware will say, was the workhorse and the ace. 13-7, 319. And then Burt Blyleven, 12-5. I forgot Burt Blyleven was on that team. 3.60. And Jim Bibby, 12-4. The saves go to Kent Colby at 31, and then Grant Jackson, 14. And so now batting averages against left-handed pitching. Mike Easler, 667. Matt Alexander, 625. Steve Noshis. He was a catcher, 326. Bill Madlock, 314. Bill Robinson, 311. Dave Parker, 300. Omar Moreno, 287. Willie Stargell, 254. Now, batting average against right-handed pitching, Matt Alexander, 400. Manny Seguin, 360. Bill Madlock, 335. Dave Parker, 317. Phil Gardner, 305. Frank Taveras, 296. Tim Foley, 296. Willie Stargell, 293. Wow, John Milner was still on that team, huh? That's interesting. So, it's set, folks. It is set. Nicosia. Thank you. So it's set. The teams are set now. This is it. We have our division set. And we'll take one last look and we shall call it a stream. Greatly appreciate everyone taking time out. Again, not the most exciting stream in the world, but we're able to chit-chat. That's always cool. All right, so we've added two new teams, the 1962 San Francisco Giants, Greg Gurecki, and the 1979 Pittsburgh Pirates, Strat-O-Matic Delaware. We're going to play home and away. That's right, we have two Bucco teams in there. We're going to play home and away, so everyone plays two games. You'll set your lineups for right-handed pitching and your lineup for left-handed pitching in the comments of this video, please. And then what I'm going to do is take your information and put it right into your team so it's going to automatically load. Hopefully I do that right. It's not that hard, I don't think. And then you'll tell me who you want to start your game 1, game 2, so on and so. You know, at least the first game. Tell me who you want your starting pitcher to be. And just please do it in the comments section of this video. And then we might come up with a better way, possibly email. And I will set the schedule. Again, we'll play one home game, one away game, no designated hitter. It's been decided. And none of these teams would have a designated hitter anyway, but I'll make sure to click off on everything to do with designated hitters. So, how does that sound to everyone in the chat? And may the best team win. Maybe, hopefully, if we get some in the comments, we might do a game tomorrow. You know, I'll see who's... It's actually going to depend who puts their lineups. And then I'll probably do that game. And again, if you're in the chat, what's going to happen if you're in the chat, and hopefully you are, this is what it's about, to have community, you'll be in the chat. I'm going to ask you, Do you want to pinch hit for this guy? Do you want to switch pitchers? I'm going to ask you those questions. Okay, so the other team's going to know too, but it doesn't matter. Like if you want to all of a sudden say you have a leadoff double, you want to bunt the guy to third, most likely they're going to play a defense against the bunt anyway. So you would then say, I want to bunt the guy over. They might turn around and say, oh, play the corners in. Well, then we're going to play it out. So, and hopefully we're going to have a lot of fun. And I think it's going to be fun. And all I'm going to do is we're going to basically, both teams will be under human control. All I'm doing is clicking the buttons. You know, and doing my commentary. I'm going to have to load, when I get off, I'm going to load the pictures for the Giants and the 79 Pirates. This is going to be fun. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope that everyone's able, you know, to at least make one game live. But even that, catch it on, you know, and pretty much everyone, I think, what I'll do is once I put the schedule, if you're a subscriber, and I think you guys are all subscribers, so your name should pop up under my subscriptions. If not, that's fine too. I know it says subscriber league, but I can send you a message saying this is the line, you know, we're all set to play. So, alrighty. Anything else you guys would like to chat about? It's 11:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the state of Massachusetts in the country of the United States of America. So, we got the league set up. I'm very happy about that. And it's going to be a home and away. The standings, again, I think when you play, these will update. But we're going to use this standing for one last time, and then we'll call it a stream. We're going to use, it's not that. That's the wrong button now. Don't click on the wrong button and delete everything. That would suck. Not that one. There we go. So there it is. You have the 76 Cincinnati Reds, the 1996 Atlanta Braves, 1980 Montreal. Oh, 1976 Cincinnati Reds, Mr. Miller. 1996 Atlanta Braves, Higher Ground Gaming with Eric and Brody. Check out Higher Ground Gaming, great channel. 1980 Montreal Expos, Andre Ford. 2012. 1912 Boston Red Sox, Ken Castro. 1994 Montreal Expos. He watches my stuff, but where is my little list? Here it is. I ride since 93. 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates, Beatles Eternally. 2001 Arizona Diamondbacks, Elin. 1930 Philadelphia Athletics, the Cubs, the Bears. 1962 San Francisco Giants, Greg Gurecki, and the 1979 Pittsburgh Pirates, Stratomatic, Delaware. So enjoy. We'll have some fun. Oh, you gotta wait till I load it up, then you can comment, Ken Castro. So I'm gonna call it a stream now, and hopefully you guys, again, what I'm looking for, how you want your pitching rotation, your batting lineup against right-handed and left-handed pitchers. It makes it easier. I can load it up, how we're going to have it, and then we'll go from there. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Ken Castro, Beatles Eternally, Higher Ground Gaming with Eric and Brody. Check out that channel, Higher Ground Gaming. Greg Gurecki, Stratomatic Delaware. Check out Stratomatic Delaware's channel. A lot of fun baseball and football stuff on there. The Cubs, the Bears, and I think Tribes Fan was in here earlier. I think he was thinking I had a game. I felt bad. I didn't have a game. So, thank you very much, gentlemen. And pretty soon we shall hear those words. Play ball. Health, happiness, Till next time, bye-bye, and God bless.